ChatGPT is recommending scams? Let's talk about it.
Well, it's not that smart.
No, it is not. But what are you going to do? We'll get into all of that. But honestly, I want to lead off with what you were talking about because I don't have the understanding that you do in that area. So let's tell everybody. But first, I am Lionel. I'm in Toronto, Canada.
And I'm Robert. And I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. And this is
the pairing mode.
One of these days we'll get that down real smooth. It'll be just
at least we remembered it this time at the beginning of the episode.
At least we're consistently wrong. And
I'm gonna say this though. Friday's gonna be a big day. 3 p.m. Canada against Bosnia-Herzegovina, right here in Toronto, Canada. And then I believe 9 p.m. This is Eastern, by the way. 9 p.m. Eastern, which would be 8 p.m. your time. You get to watch the U.S. of A play against, I don't remember.
Oh, no, we lost against some dumb team the other night.
Oh, no, yeah, that's a friendly. Who cares?
I know, but still.
You're playing the World Cup. It's right. It's the same day, so we get to watch both those games. It's going to be kind of nice to be able to watch both of them same day.
Yep.
Especially since there's a good chance that we may only watch three games each. But I'm just kidding. They're going all the way.
We're gonna get 3 minutes each. Is about it.
3 minutes each. Injury time. They get lucky, get the 3 minute injury time. Anyways,
exactly.
Let's move on. Don't mind me if I'm looking around all over the place because I just want to.
So, what is it that which one of the things that we talked about that you wanted me to lead off with?
The one that I know nothing about that you brought up to me. It has something to do with, I think you said Anthropic.
Oh yes. So they recently, because everybody knows that Anthropic came out with their Mythos 5. That they
and when he says everybody, he means him and a couple of people. I'm kidding.
It was pretty much known worldwide, but they locked it down and they only gave access to, like Google, Amazon, Apple. I don't know. There's probably a half dozen or dozen big IT technology type companies.
So it's what Google does to Canadians, gives Americans and India and sometimes Britain stuff and not Canadians.
Sure.
Again, move on.
Sure. And they wanted basically these conglomerates to take this Mythos and shore up their holes and develop defenses because
apparently I know what it is now. Yes.
It's so powerful that if left unchecked, they feel like in the wrong hands, obviously. Yeah. Like even where we're at now in the wrong hands, it's bad news, right?
Right.
But this apparently could be even more catastrophic, supposedly. But they've come out with what's called the Claude Fable 5. It's a Mythos class model made safe for general use. And it's so basically meaning it's like, I'm sure dramatically stripped down. I have not had a chance to really play with it. I did do a couple quick prompts with it, but again, the prompts I did are not
so wait a minute.
really...
This particular one is for the public?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's fully available. I got it in all my products. I got in all my apps that I use. It's available. So
paid?
It's out and about. No, there's a lot of free stuff that's out there that you can use, that have it. So it's, there's certain safeguards that are built into it. I'm sure it's not near as powerful. It probably doesn't have quite the capabilities. Again, I don't have all the details as far as functionality because I haven't really played with it. I just sent that text to you, this morning, I guess it was. Right. And I just, again, I did a couple prompts during the day today, like at lunch. But what I prompted is it's not breaking a sweat, right? Because I'm not really using its ability, but
Yeah.
apparently it has a much better capability of one-shotting, if you will, things that might have taken you 2, 3, 4 prompts, maybe some reprompting to actually get correct. Its intelligence apparently is super, super good. So I don't know. I'm actually looking forward to kind of being able to play with it a little bit
I'm looking
more.
forward to Gemini 3.5 Pro so we can see if it's, who's really better at your everyday stuff. Because I mean, again, if you're a coder or if you have to deep dive into that stuff, then I think Anthropic and in some cases maybe ChatGPT might be the way to go. And I say some cases, we'll get to that as hinted at the beginning. But when it comes to everyday, and there's a lot of YouTubers that have been putting this out lately too. When it comes to everyday usage on device, maybe not on computer sometimes, but on your device, everyday usage, Gemini blows everyone else out of the water. Like it's amazing how people are saying, yeah, well, I can do this better with ChatGPT and I can do this way better with Claude. But for my everyday assistant, Gemini.
Yeah.
And
Well, and
their usage numbers are going up, by the way. They are way in second place at this point. They still got a long way to go to catch up to ChatGPT, but
there's a YouTuber I follow he's AI, talks a lot AI stuff. And he basically I was watching one of his podcasts this morning, and he basically said what I've been saying is like all of these LLMs and these tools are so powerful and they do such a good job that you don't really have to use multiples, right? If the average person is going to be able to take Gemini and do everything they need to do. They're going to be able to take ChatGPT and do everything they need to do.
Right.
Claude, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
It's only in certain aspects, if you are a power user, that you might need higher level coding that you can actually granularly control that you need Claude. Or you do super in-depth, video or photo, manipulation where you need really high-end $200 a month, Gemini plan. And then ChatGPT, what it does. So, I mean, there are times where, depending on what you do, you might need to have multiple tools. But the average person, he's like, look, pick what works, pick what you know how to use, and just go deep in it.
Yeah.
And use it, because you're not missing out on anything. It's true.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. You're talking about Matt Wolf, I assume.
No, actually, well, but he said
I heard him
similar.
say something similar in one of his videos from the last few days. I think I watched one, and he was talking about something like that. And there was another guy I was watching who basically went over all of the stuff and the reasons why he would use. It was Matt Wolf. It was a different person this time, and he mentioned all the reasons why he would use ChatGPT, all the reasons to use. He even mentioned Grok at one point, but that was in a previous video, and Gemini, and Gemini was the one that he said was his daily driver for sure, and he wasn't the only one. There was a number of them, and I will tell you this: I sometimes experiment with a lot of them, and I told you about a couple of days ago when and I don't remember what the question was I posed. It was relatively simple. But it was something that I figured AI could get wrong easily. And I was right. Only 2 of them actually got it right completely out of the box, but it was literally only Gemini that made no mistake, did no hallucination, and got it completely right. And that shocked me, because Gemini has been, as much as I'm a Gemini booster, I tell you, Gemini this, Gemini that. But Gemini has long been known to be like, using psilocybin or something. I mean, you think it's on magic mushrooms because it hallucinates a lot. But it seems to be getting a lot better, and I do believe the 3.5 has reduced the hallucinating. But I also think because they're not finished updating the entire thing and they're still working on the pro part of it, the fast model is answering things a little too quickly. And you have to kind of force it into the thinking if you want to make sure it gets it right, which defeats the purpose
Yeah.
of being fast. But it is smarter than 3.1 Pro. I'll give it
Yeah.
that, which
Yeah.
is crazy how good it is. I use the fast model to have it put documents together for me and do the research on it, and then put enough information for me that I can put into Notebook LM, which is now powered by 3.5, by the way, and that's only recently in the last couple of days. And I guess at some point we could mention about how good Notebook LM is.
Yeah.
I used it recently for something, and I guess I could pull that up later and show you what I had Notebook LM do, which is really
Yeah.
crazy.
Jeff Sue is the guy.
Oh, okay.
He's another big AI YouTuber. Does a lot of stuff in the AI space, and I really love his podcast. He's a really funny guy. But and Matt Wolf has said the same thing. You know, I'm a big Matt Wolf fan. Listen to his
Yeah.
podcast all the time. He does a phenomenal job. But and they all say the same thing. I mean, everybody's basically saying the same thing. Like, you know, you don't have to go hunting through 15 different tools on the average person to achieve what you want to achieve. One tool is going to do it for you. There is a couple things that I've narrowed mine down pretty significantly for some of my, content creation, some of the other things I'm doing with some of the vibe coding I've gotten into. And that's, I'm basically with Emergent. They have a wingman agent. And then I've started actually using, ironically enough, Perplexity's computer, and found it to be very powerful.
I keep thinking to try that, and I completely forget, or I get busy with something. But I actually do want to give it a shot. So, what are you seeing with it that is drawing you to, making it interesting?
Here's what I really like about it. And at first, I was like, I wonder if it can really utilize it as best as I want it to. And the answer is yes, but it has access to all the models. Okay.
Right.
It's not its own model. It's like an agent of the agents, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, and so when you tell it a task, and I'll let it do a task, and it'll run for like an hour, depending on what I'm having it do. It'll pull up Gemini. It'll pull up, video, to do videos. It'll pull up Nano Banana to do pictures. It'll pull up Claude 4.7, I think is what it uses right now. It's
Really?
I think it has available now where you can use the new.
Okay, well that's interesting.
So it'll pull up ChatGPT, whatever it feels is the best agent or LLM to accomplish its task. It'll do it, and it spools sub agents. So like you tell it to do something, and it's like, okay, I'm going to start this agent here, this agent here, this agent here, and they just all work in tandem, and they spit out your project or whatever it is you're trying to do.
Well, that's excellent. I will say this though, if you're considering using it as a chat bot, it is the stupidest one. The fact that it can do this agent stuff as good, if not better than others, because of what you're saying about the tandem agency, it doesn't. It doesn't affect the average person who just wants the chatbot. It's like, oh, I can use Perplexity on my phone. I'll try that. The voice sounds okay, just like all the other models sound okay. They all have very natural sounding in their live versions, I should be clear. But it is the one that almost always gets questions wrong when I do my tests with them. Almost always. And the last time, the question, again, I don't remember what it was, so I apologize for that, but it was so unbelievably far gone from the actual truth of what I was looking for such a simplistic answer on. It was shocking. I highly don't recommend it unless the use case is what you just described, in which case I actually still want to try that out and see how it works.
Yeah, I've been very, very impressed with it.
Yeah.
Again, I know some people saying, well, it's not as efficient or effective or whatever the case may be. And I have not found that to be true. I mean, I'm sure there's probably instances where that's true, but um, you can switch back and forth between, like the regular mode and the computer mode. Um, and the
Mhm.
computer mode, again, like, so I pulled it up so I could see. So, like, in my models, I can choose Sonar, I could choose ChatGPT 5.4. 5.5 is locked out to max plan, which I don't have because that's $200 a month.
Is
But Gemini 3.1 Pro, Sonnet 4.6, again, 4.8 is max only. But it's got, all of those models there are more than capable of doing tasks that I need it to do.
right, yeah.
I don't necessarily need 5.5. It's very expensive. I found that out the hard way with my OpenClaw experiment. And I don't need 4.8, 4.6, 4.7 work just fine. And of course, as we move forward, the newest models now will go down into the, models that'll be
Yeah.
using after they're not new anymore. So it's actually saved me a lot of time. It's created entire marketing program, not program,
Yeah.
schemes. Like, it's scripting, video, pictures. It can post. I say, do this. It just does it. Like, and I go back and as of right now, I'm like, okay, I want to read it or look at it before it's, sent. 90% of the time, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. All right. That matches kind of what my mindset was. So yeah, let's ship it. And it does fantastic, like, keyword research, uh, competitor research. I don't know. I found it to be very, very solid product that I use in conjunction with my emergent agentic agent. And together, I've been able to create some pretty cool marketing tools and different things and videos and thumbnails. And because, as I tell you all the time, time is of the essence. And so if I can get some tools that aren't super expensive, that I can eliminate a lot of my time and not bounce around between 5 different, agents,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
all for it. And
Yeah.
I don't do the
That's a
chatbot
time
thing with it,
saver, right?
Yeah. I use Gemini. Gemini is my, like, everyday, like you were saying. I pull up
Yes.
my phone. Hey, what's this? What's that? Blah, 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 this and that. There's some things I go deep with it on, but because, again, with Perplexity, I have 3.1 Pro, which, again, is more than capable for what I need it to do. Maybe not other people, and they need some higher quality stuff, but for me, it's perfect. So yeah, I've been pretty happy. I've been very happy, and it's saved me a lot of time in you know creating content and marketing and all that stuff. So I've really liked it, and again, I think that I'm really trying to, like, now that they've all gotten so good, I'm really trying to eliminate some fluff out of my AI toolkit.
Yeah.
It just gets too much. It
Yeah.
just gets too much.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I'm just trying to open up something that I actually can see
And
because I
another
want to
aspect of
mention.
it is you can connect, like, your Canva. You can, and same with my emergent. So, like, I could say, like, my HeyGen, I could say, hey, I want you to use my HeyGen digital clone, and I want you to create me a 30-second promo video on XYZ. Make sure to include this, this, and this. It already knows my brand because I make sure to give it my logo, my colors, and, like, I just say, make sure it stays to brand, and it spits it out.
That's something that I would like to actually see the models that you pay a decent amount of money for be able to actually implement that type of thing, and you don't have to go with a third party to get all that aggregate stuff done. It's great that you can, and it's also great that it's not the most expensive thing in the world to do, but it's still a bit more of a pain in the butt. Um, However, that said, I can get most of the way there, and I had completely forgotten that Gemini added Canva into its
Oh, right. Yeah.
abilities, which I used, and it's so amazing because you can basically tell it, yeah, I'd like you to do this, and I'd like you to do that, and I want you to put this banner thing here and change the text to that, and it does, and then it says, okay, would you like me to open Canva now to do this? And yeah, so you're like, yes, okay, I guess I got to do the rest of it manually. Well, not necessarily, because then you can look at it and go, I like that, but what I need is this instead. And then it'll just basically redo it and put it back into Canva. But it also allows you, because it's open Canva, to still use it the way you would normally use Canva prior to all of this AI stuff and move stuff around yourself if you want.
Nice,
so you have both. So you can just talk to it, which is great. But on that note, I do want to actually kind of shift it a little bit because we mentioned Notebook LM earlier.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I had a conversation with Gemini extensively. I'm going to mention the local hardware autonomy, and it's actually Gemini that came up with that actual saying it like that, because I was thinking about logically what is necessary for AI to be, really centered everyday life, not the way we think of it now, but the way it would have been in the future, the way it should be in the future, so that it's not intrusive, but yet helpful to you. And it's not the data centers, which are still going to be important, but local autonomy, meaning it has to be able to run on your device, on your computer, on your tablet, on your laptop, and do everything you need within your local network in your home, and not ever have to contact the cloud for that. But then, of course, when you say, "Oh, but I need to know how old is Christy McNichol," it then goes on the internet to find that information, right? You want to tell it, I need to know what happened at WWDC. We're going to get to that in a minute, and it goes to the internet to find it. But if you just tell it, "I need you to call Robert," it doesn't have to do that. Right? I mean, technically it doesn't now, but it still technically does because it's backing that up. The local autonomy gets rid of that. If you have a power outage and you're using a UPS system, you're not going to lose your AI across your entire system in your home when that's the case. So we discussed it for a while and discussed the pros, the cons, how it would happen. And my argument was that in order for it to be successful in the future and not fall apart, because eventually there's going to be wars fought over data centers. If you think I'm crazy, it's going to happen. They fight over anything, right? There'll be wars fought over it. There'll be terrorist attacks on data farms. Just watch, it'll happen. I hope not, but I mean, it's, history repeats itself, unfortunately. So my argument was that in order for it to be successful, local autonomy is necessary. And then we discussed it for a long time, and then I asked it to take the entire conversation so I could put it in and make it into PDF, so I could put it into Notebook LM, and it had to have all the links of all the information it gathered as well, and it did it. So my thing was for Notebook LM was to make it a white paper, as if it were a scientific paper delivered by people who know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
So just don't want to bore anybody, but I'll give you a quick, brief read. I'm not going to try to read the whole thing. Just the title: "The Imperative of Local Hardware Autonomy in Next Generation AI Architectures, from Consumer Hardware Limits to Mission Critical Systems." It then puts my whole name, Jarvis, which is what I named Gemini, Academic AI Engine. This is Jarvis, the Academic AI Engine. And so it's credited itself because I asked it for the hell. Awesome. Because in real life, if I was a scientist and I did a paper, I would absolutely credit my assistant. You're damn right I would. Not
you can't take that away from him.
Yeah, no. Well, in this case, it's her. Until I change the voice again. So I'll forget about the abstract part, just introduction and the paradigm wall. The mainstream proliferation of large language models, LLMs, and deep neural network frameworks has exposed a fundamental contradiction in computing infrastructure. I don't even need to go any further. It already sounds like a white paper, right? I mean, Sounds all scientific, and it goes on, and it even threw in a couple of actual formulas, and I was like, what? Like, I feel like I should put these formulas into the like ChatGPT or something, and see if it can tell me what it's supposed to mean, just to see that it's not hallucinating here, right? But that's crazy. So just imagine if, like, don't get me wrong, if you're in university, don't do this and hand it in. You suck if you do that. I don't want you being my doctor if this is how you get your damn degree. Um, but however, that said, if you're not good with writing stuff down, but you have brains that were way the hell above mine, and you have that knowledge, then yeah, use ChatGPT, use Gemini. It doesn't matter which one you use, by the way. You can still put it in Notebook LM. You can put links in there, videos in there, just your own words. You can write down a bunch of scribbles and mathematical formulas, and then tell it to put it together. And Notebook LM will do that for you. So it could be it could be your own stuff, and you can use it for book reports in school as long as you put your own words and then ask it to do it. Right? So at least it's your own. And if you actually took it to a teacher and said, "This is all mine, and here's my notes to prove it, but this is my Notebook LM output, so it looks good." If I were a teacher, I'd pass you for it as long as you showed me the notes of where you got it, and then prove to me that you understood it. So it's a great thing. What have you've used Notebook LM though, right? At least a little bit.
Oh yeah. I say quite a bit. I mean, not a lot, but I used it with my whole EasyScribe app.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
I created like a, what do they call it? Is it project? That's not a project.
Is it? Yeah, I know. I think they're projects, aren't they? They could be just called a notebook, actually.
No, there's a name.
A quick question: is that app still technically a beta, or is it a released app yet?
Oh no, it's fully released. I got 15 subscribers, 9 of which are paid. I've had some not, actually subscribe, because you can join it without a credit card. So,
well, you just have to make sure to put a link in the description there. Then you can explain that whole situation at some point towards the end of the podcast, because it could be somebody who is in need.
Yeah, I guess it is just a notebook, but it's like, so it's just one thing I created, and I've created data tables, infographics, flashcards. I know you've done a mind map. I haven't done a mind map, like slide decks.
Oh yeah,
I've done audio and video overviews. I was pretty impressed. It's pretty cool.
I did actually iOS versus Android. Basically it was a video thing, and actually, you know what, I'm still debating on whether I want to put it on this channel, because it made a whole video of it. It's like 6 minutes long, and it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I didn't know it would be that good. I didn't even know it did it. I knew it did the audio overviews, but it's a video overview. And then, of course, I accidentally hit the button a couple of times and ended up with 3 completely different, but yet probably very much the same podcast audio overviews, which I'm not going to necessarily publish. They just sound really cool. But the video one, I was working on it because I did a little intro for it using my own avatar in Gemini Omni, and I just have to put it up. I'm just not sure if I want to put it on this channel or if I want to put it on my channel or the other channel. I suppose I could. Why not, right?
Yeah, it's like everything.
Good point. Good point. But yeah, you know what? So if you want to see it, check it out, because it's going to probably be up before this is finished being edited, because that one's already edited.
Yeah, put it up.
Yeah. And I'll have to let you know so you can check it out too, because you haven't seen it yet. I didn't want to show it to you
No.
until I finished editing it. But I'm old. I had to take a nap. I fell asleep.
I've been wanting to play around with the Notebook LM and try to do a one of our podcasts, like a test, and have actually my voice, your voice,
I
and
don't
our
think it does that
avatars.
yet.
You can't add a voice to it. I don't know. I haven't.
No, it's still just their voices. I'm still waiting
Oh,
on
so
that.
you
That
just put the
possibility.
information and
Yeah.
it gives you the whatever they want. Okay, gotcha.
I think though, because Gemini, Google is trying to put a lot of their stuff together to get it, to talk everything to talk to each other better. That Notebook LM may end up having a little bit more of a slide into the flow architecture. Once
Yeah.
they actually open that gate up, and I don't count on it being for at least 6 months to a year. There's not even a rumor of it. I'm just assuming that eventually,
Right.
once they do that, then I could see the avatar avenue open. My God, this would be such a valuable tool. Imagine if you use your avatar in this. I mean, you're automatically getting videos done of 6 minutes, and then you could say, I just need to use my avatar for the introduction and the outro, and then you can have it do its video generation for what it does. So that way, it takes up a lot less. Oh, and we should mention, by the way, when you use Gemini and Omni on your phone or tablet, or even on the computer, there's a certain block of credits that are being used that are completely different from when you do stuff with Notebook LM, which is completely different when you do something with Flow Music, which is different when you use Google Flow video generation, which is crazy. A lot of people don't realize that. So you can easily stay within your limits by bouncing from one to the other, depending on what you're trying to do. So,
and what a lot of people probably don't know is Flow has a mobile app, so you don't have to go to the web to do Flow.
You might have to, though. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, the mobile app still doesn't allow you to do scenes and stuff like that, so you can't put together the different the different videos. I mean, maybe it does, but it's roundabout. There's a number of things you can't do with it. So
I mean,
in my
opinion,
sense, it's not worth it unless you just want to save yourself your phone credits, or you ran out of your phone credits and you want to make one more video for the day or the week or whatever.
Don't they reset like every few hours or something based on whatever usage it was?
5 hours.
Because it's
5 hours and 1 week. So you can run out within 5 hours, and when that does happen, it doesn't just mean that you can't make any more video generations. It throws your entire Gemini experience down to the lowest model. Yeah. So it's still, you can still talk to it, right? But there's a lot of things it won't do anymore. You won't even be able to make a picture at that point. Well, sometimes you can, because I don't know they even charge you for them. Well, no, they do, because it's still a block of credits, right? But with Google Flow, it's different. It's just a monthly credit. But they gave a lot of people a bonus for whatever reason a while back, and it stays there until you start using it. So I have 1,000. So no matter what I have, my Flow credits are like around 500 right now left for whatever the monthly turnaround is. But I actually have over 1,500 because I still have the 1,000 I haven't dipped into yet. So
it really irritates me when companies, when you have these credits and they make them expire. Like, why do they have to expire? If you're not using them, it's not like it's taking away from anybody else, right? I mean, it's
well,
in your bucket.
You know what that's reminiscent.
Leave it in your bucket.
You know what that's reminiscent of? Gift cards. You get a Best Buy gift card years ago, and it's like someone gives you a $50 Best Buy gift card, and you go 366 days later, and it's no good. Well, the government of Canada about 25 years ago, I want to say, maybe, said, hang on a minute. People are buying this. They're giving you the money. You can't just walk away and say you can't have it, and like, too bad, right? And of course, some of them started pulling some of the cards off the shelf and saying, "Well, we're only going to give this one type of card now." Well, yeah, and then no one wanted to shop for a while, so they started putting out all of them. There's no expiry to gift cards in Canada; it's illegal. You can buy a Best Buy gift card, and as long as Best Buy still exists 10 years later, your credit's still good.
As it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why it was ever, well, I mean, I do know why, because corporate greed, but that's not what we're talking about today. We can talk about that every day, but we're not going to talk about it today. So, Apple, WWDC, Worldwide Developers Conference. Apple has put out all of the information about iOS. What is it? Which iOS? 27.
27.
Yeah,
I was going to say 28, but
yeah, they changed it to the year thing a couple of years back. And so iOS 27 and iPadOS 27 and so on and so on. And of course, it was entirely focused on the AI and the new Siri. And right out of the gate, they totally jumped in and said, this is all going to be powered by Gemini and blah, blah. And they souped it all up and talked about it. And they went through a bunch of stuff. And oh, God, I sent Robert a bunch of texts because he was busy at his desk and couldn't get to see it. So I kept giving him the skinny as it went on. And I believe a lot of my messages were, I'm falling asleep because they keep announcing stuff that we either have already had or even that iOS already has, but they're hyping it up as some revolutionary new thing.
I sent you that Matt Wolf. I sent you that Matt Wolf video about Microsoft stuff, and you're like, "What do you think is more entertaining?" I'm like, Matt Wolf.
Yeah. But eventually they did mention a few things here and there. But the thing that kicked it off for me was towards the end, where they're basically, and in the fall, it will be releasing as a beta. And we're like, oh, they're doing it again. They got Gemini baked into this sucker now. It's running off of Gemini to make it the smartest possible AI. In some cases, theoretically, it may be more capable than Gemini on my Pixel phone. And I'm not even joking. And that wouldn't bother me because that means Google has to step their game up. But Google's just sitting back going, oh, God, what did we get ourselves into? Oh, we'll take the $1 billion a year. That's it.
Well, it's
corporate greed, baby.
I mean, I honestly feel bad for people with iPhones. They're like, man, I can't wait for this because they have been completely forgotten about, if you will, with AI stuff because Apple completely.
Somebody said to me today, as he was having a hard time with Siri understanding anything, he looks at me, he says, I thought you said this Siri thing was supposed to get better. I said, not yet. I didn't have the heart to tell him that it may be longer than
maybe never.
So, oh God, they did have some other stuff, but I don't really know what else to say about it because it was so underwhelming. Like compared to what Google's, I mean, they basically had almost the exact same type of event where they were hyping up all of the AI stuff, except theirs is borrowed from every other AI company. And now they have the gall to say, but it's going to come to you in beta. Whereas Google said, we're telling you you're going to get it. It's not ready yet, but you're about to get it in a couple of months. And yes, and it told us about it. And honestly, half the things that they said we're going to get in a couple of months were already trickling in. So not everything we have to wait for. The full agentic abilities, yes. But for now, Gemini is still worlds ahead of anything of the new Siri. Like even when it comes out, if it's in a beta and they've got it only half baked at the time when it comes out, like you said, I feel sorry for the iPhone users if that's the case because they're all going to go, oh my God, I'm getting the new Siri today.
Yeah.
Why is it telling me it can't do it?
Yeah. Well, and then Microsoft, I sent you that video. I'm not going to go into all the details because there's so many different things, but they have new image models. They're actually really trying to be AI independent and not rely so much on OpenAI and other platforms. They're really doing a lot of in-house building of their AI tools, and they're coming out with some pretty cool stuff. And they got their own little agentic agents. It's called Scout, and I was watching. I think you watched the same thing. Some of the stuff looks pretty cool. I mean, I really think in the next 6 months to a year, we're going to be seeing some really amazing stuff coming out. It's because it's moving so fast. It's like, yeah, and I could be totally wrong on that time frame. Maybe it could be 3 weeks. It could be a year, but
Right.
I mean, yeah, it moves so fast. There's just really no way to put your finger, because what's going to end up happening is one of these companies is going to come out with some kind of, I won't say groundbreaking, but very advanced feature, function, whatever. And then the other one's going to go, oh shit. And they're going to come out with it. Kind of like that happened with when, 3.0 dropped with Gemini. ChatGPT, OpenAI said, stop everything. Work on ChatGPT now.
Which is completely the opposite of what happened when the whole AI thing started, and Google was like, you know what, let's work with this other company and let's make this AI thing going. Yeah, here's the code. All right, let's make sure everyone has it. All right, everyone play nice now. All right, so what are we going to call ours? What? I'm sorry, what? ChatGPT? Oh, don't worry about that. All right, we'll call ours Bard. What do you mean they have 8 million users already? Bard. All right, let's put ours out in beta now. Okay, so Bard, we have 15 users so far on beta. What do you mean they have 40 million users already? What? Okay, we better release this to the public now, but not Canada. Hang on a second. What do you mean they have 100 million users? Okay, fine, change the name to Gemini.
Yeah, it was.
That was a little overblown. I know. I went a little overboard on that one.
I think that most of the companies now are pretty much on a nice little clip. Like they're all like, no, I don't think any of them are sitting back on their laurels anymore and like waiting. They're ripping stuff out.
Yeah, well, of course they are. They're all spending hundreds of billions, pardon me, on data centers. All of them.
Yeah. Yeah. There's several data centers that have been going up around me. The little town I live in, there's 3 data centers, not just down the street from me. 2 of them are Facebook data centers.
So what are you gonna drink when you get thirsty?
What do you mean?
That was a little joke, because that's every time they mention the data centers, people complain. Oh, they're gonna use all the water.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I have plenty of water.
Well, they might, first of all, they might be using a closed loop system in the first place. Everybody thinks they're automatically going to drain all the water from every town.
Yeah, like they're just turning the spigot on and just...
Don't get me wrong, it's happened and it'll happen again, but it's not every single place. And the one thing that we're about, what about when they build them in California? They already have water shortages in Nevada. Again, why does everybody assume automatically that they're going to just take 40 trillion gallons of water and keep sucking it out of people are going to not be able to drink water, and they're going to take all their resources. Some of them, the electrical problem is a little bit different though. They really need to, I think every data farm should have its own little nuclear reactor.
Yeah, I agree. Why not?
Or one that powers several in the region, because I mean you can send the power hundreds of miles, right? So
sure.
They say, well, the little ones won't power the whole. Yeah, it will. The little ones are like what Google is and one of the other companies are working at getting up and running, and then probably in the next year or two, whatever. They're capable of running like half of Chicago or something like that, so. Well, maybe not half of Chicago, but half of Minneapolis or something like that, right? If you can run half of Minneapolis, then you can run a couple of data centers, right? It's like, do it. I mean, no, you don't plug into what's existing if you don't have to, because they do take a lot of electricity. But it's, here's the thing though. as technology advances, you're going to end up with smaller, more efficient chips that need less cooling, less electricity, and eventually you're going to need less chips because they're going to have
Mm-hmm.
that many more transistors on them.
Yeah.
Like 30 years from now, people are going to look back and go, they needed a data center that big? People say, well,
Yeah.
there's no way you're going to get that small because the world keeps getting bigger. If you took somebody from 1967 and showed them the phone that you use, they'd go, what? What are you talking about?
It's
That's better than a
impossible.
supercomputer? Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And some people wonder if they still think that the supercomputers from the 80s were still way more powerful. In a sense, to some extent, that's actually still true. But if you do all of the math, not even close.
Well,
A
and then
decent
we're going to
gaming
be in
machine can
quantum
outdo it.
before long. It's yeah.
Well, yeah, you know what? Once they crack that whole quantum computing thing to the point where it's actually legitimately doable, just think about how AI is going to actually work with quantum computing. Suddenly, those data centers, 1/10 the size. Oh no, they have to be bigger because it's a quantum computer. Not the size of a building. The one quantum computer, if they can make it work the way they want to, would do most of what the AI data center would do by itself. Because it doesn't work the same. It's quantum. There's a reason
Right.
they use the word quantum.
Yeah.
I,
I don't understand it.
I'm over here. No, I'm over
Most people don't
here.
understand it. Yeah, it's
If somebody
yeah.
didn't understand what I just did, then you don't know quantum mechanics.
Yeah, well, most people don't, and it's
Well, it's
it's
true.
it's a very novel concept because it seems so far fetched in reality.
That's quantum
But
mechanics, baby.
I got it. I got
Did
it.
I just say that?
That it's quantum mechanics, baby. You just said that.
Sorry, that was another quantum joke. Um,
You and your dad jokes.
that's not a dad joke. That's a quantum joke.
It's
Let me
not
let me
funny.
ask you. Let me ask you a
Nobody's
straight
gonna get
question.
that.
Pavlov's dog or cat, dog, well, whatever, dog, cat, raccoon. If it belonged to Pavlov and there's a box involved, okay. Um, could you consider that a quantum problem?
I don't know.
Of course you can.
Why?
Well, because the cat's not there, but the cat is there. That's quantum physics, man.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not here
Anyway,
for a quantum lesson. I don't really
why
give a shit.
not?
It's because it's not viable. It's not even fun. It's not even something that's affecting my life right now. So I don't.
Well,
I have
quantum
too many other
physics
things
is
to think
probably
about.
always affecting your life. You just don't know
You
it.
know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I'm just I'm just going all over the place. Okay. I think I brought up everything that was there, or there was one other thing that I kept forgetting to bring up that I wanted to. Oh, right, the ChatGPT thing. We led off with it. Now it's time to bring it up. ChatGPT has apparently been telling when people say, "Hey, I want to get to this store or whatever, or I need to go shopping for this," is pointing people to fraudulent sites. Oops. um. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I'm reading the wrong part. No, that is the right part. Sorry. A major investigation by the scam checking service Ask Silver. Don't even know what that is. Published just
Never heard
days
of it.
ago in The Guardian, revealed that ChatGPT search results have been actively, meaning this didn't happen just once, actively recommending fake cloned e-commerce stores to users. Ouch. The trap. The AI spits out an eloquent, highly trusted response detailing trends, but explicitly cites the malicious fake site as a source. Users click through seeing convincing 80% discounts, hand over their credit card or bank transfer details, and get completely ripped off. I'm not laughing at the people. That's not funny. Um, I'm laughing at ChatGPT because, like, what was it? They did something about recommending something before that got them in hot water several months
Yeah,
ago.
but let me get my 2 cents on that right there.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that it's should not be able to somehow decipher, but I'm going to tell you just from the amount of phishing information and things that I
Yeah.
deal with on a daily basis, some of this stuff is really, really good content.
Yeah.
It's just that last click you click on takes you somewhere that it can't get that far into the click. So all it's looking at is face value information that looks very,
Yes.
very legitimate. And
But
that's why you have to vet it.
I think, yes, and I agree with you 100%. But I think in this particular case, what it's actually saying is that it's not doing any of that at all. Um, it's it's doing this on a regular basis. Don't get me wrong; it's entirely possible to have a result like this happen with Gemini, with Perplexity, or whatever. But in this particular case, it just seems to not actually be trying to find. So it's like doing a regular Google search. And if the first thing that comes up happens to be an incorrect link, that's what it does. If I ask ChatGPT to take me to walmart.com or .ca or whatever, it actually opens the correct one, not the one that's fake that's sitting right beside it, which, by the way, does happen. Um, and that's because it's legitimately looking for the correct one. But then again, Google has like spam safeguards all of the yin yang. So they're pretty good with that. Again, it does happen though. I've actually had it actually give me links that were to phishing sites. It's happened before, but it's way less than being something that's newsworthy as it's happening a lot. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
and
though they're
this
pretty good
is
with it. They'll fix this problem quick.
where I think again Gemini shines over the others because they have decades of search queries
Yeah.
and web pages to view and all this information that nobody else in the planet has. And so its Gemini is able to go into its archive information and compare a site if it wanted to, like, nah, that's fake, this is the real one. we're
Well, to
gonna
be
we're gonna
clear,
go
it won't do that unless you give it at least the thinking model, if not the pro model.
No, I'm
Uh,
saying when you just do regular searches, it's already, let me rephrase that, it's already filtered that out on the back end. They're
for the most
like,
part, yeah.
yeah,
There are situations where it doesn't happen, but that usually follows a hallucination that Gemini's already had and is about to
yeah, well,
propagate in front of you. Because again, as I've mentioned, Gemini still has a hallucination issue from time to time.
they all do.
It's not impossible. All AIs do. Gemini's is just a little bit more hilarious when it does it because it's usually unbelievably obvious. Like today when I asked it, just because I was looking at the temperature, and when you go out of the weather app on a Pixel, it shows you whatever saved ones are there before you can back all the way to the home screen. So I saw in your area and the city I used to live in, where my favorite hockey team is, and I was thinking about, wow, it is pretty hot there right now. I thought it felt hot here because it's like so ridiculously humid. So I checked in your city to see what the humidity was, and it's considerably lower, but it's also considerably hotter. So I asked Gemini which should feel hotter based on the conditions currently, our humidity versus their humidity. And it immediately said that it was feel hotter where you are, but instead of giving me the correct answer as to why that is, because it's quite a bit hotter for starters. It basically said, oh, it's 26 degrees Celsius and it feels like 27 at 72% humidity. I said, no. What do I have to be 180% humidity for it to feel 5 degrees warmer? That doesn't make any sense. And then it gave me this whole mathematical formulation, and it went and said I was incorrect in my previous mathematical assessment. And I'm like, what? No shit. Like it was so far off, and it was just a weird hallucination. It just suddenly stopped thinking. And that's what I'm saying. So if you need a proper equation or something seriously done and you want to know something that's important, select the thinking model or the pro model.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this week's of AI.
AI. Yeah, next week, we're going to talk about something different. We're going to talk about I's that come after A. And that's
IAs.
A. The fonts.
Just probably half the people in this world don't even know what the hell you just taught.
What the fonts, man? Everybody knows the fonts. A.
No.
Oh, come on. All right, dude. We're gonna get out of here then, and we're gonna say, and you know what? I am gonna put the video on this channel. Like I said, I'll put it on the other channel as well. So you got to check that out, and I'm gonna make sure that. Oh, wait! Before we go, quickly tell people about the app.
Oh, so EasyScribe is an app I built for my wife. It actually turned out to be a really amazing app, so I put it out on the market. It is a medical AI transcription app that is a ambient listening AI tool they leave running while they're talking with their patient. When they're done, you hit stop. It takes the information and just recompiles it into what's called SOAP notes, which is what medical professionals use to put in their EHR systems. It basically is, here's what's wrong, here's the plan, here's your medications, here's, it just gives information on what you discuss, treatment, things like that. It doesn't give advice. It's not a medical advice app. It's not storing data. Data is deleted after 30 days, so it's HIPAA compliant. There's other reasons why it's HIPAA compliant, not just that. But it's actually saved my wife and my stepdaughter probably a good 2 hours a day, 1 to 2 hours a day in charting, because they're not having to remember. They don't have to go back to their desk. It's just automatically right there, copy paste done.
Just to put this in perspective, obviously, doctors and nurses and whatnot are the ones that are most interested in this, obviously. But just to put this into perspective for regular Joes like me. This would be on a more complicated level, but similar to me just basically talking to Gemini, to you, when Gemini's hearing this, and I tell Gemini ahead of time that I want you to take the everything that is being said and then put this into a document where I can easily read the notes of everything important discussed. I'm dumbing it down.
Well, basically,
hugely dumbing it down.
It uses OpenAI Whisper on the back end to do the transcription. That is a medically more trained model. Right, understands medical terminology better, and it's able to pull what they call ICD-10 codes, which are codes doctors use to bill for whatever problem that they just diagnosed or whatever. And instead of sitting here typing away while you're talking to your patient and you're like breaking this communication, right? Because now I'm here and then I'm here and then I'm here, and then having all these charts to follow up at the end of the night because you don't have time to do them while you're working. Does it. It's literally a copy paste. It's done. They just copy paste it into the EHR, save it, and move on.
Well, that does sound pretty amazing. If you happen to be in the medical profession, check out the link in the description and check it out, because obviously it sounds like something that can save you a lot of time and help you and your patients.
I have an oral surgeon in Nashville that has been using it. He's absolutely loves it. Are you familiar with Dragon, Naturally Speaking?
Yes.
He's been using that for 15, 20 years, and he is no longer using Dragon as a daily transcription tool anymore.
Wow. Crazy.
He's like, and he told me, he said, Robert, this app is way better than Dragon. And it's
interesting. Okay. So we're gonna run along. Link in the description. Also check out my video. Again, if you haven't seen it yet, it's going to be up before this is, so it should be there already. I am Lionel. I'm in Toronto, Canada, and World Cup coming up.
I'm Robert, Nashville, Tennessee, and the other side of the World Cup coming up. We'll see you next week.